Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, we will be discussing how to get the slope of a line given a graph, an equation, and 2 points. But before we have those 3 ways on getting the slope of the given line, let us define and illustrate first slope of a line. Slope of a line in the plane containing the x and y axis is generally represented by the letter m and is defined as the change in the y-coordinate divided by the corresponding change in the x-coordinate between two distinct points on the line. This is described by the following equation: m equals vertical change divided by horizontal change, or rise over run. Let us have some example. Tagaytay is known for its cool weather. Hotels, restaurants, coffee shops, and scenic spots like the Taal volcano. Suppose we want to find the steepness of the volcano in our image. What are we going to do? Finding its slope is getting its vertical change over horizontal change, or rise over run. For example, we have the steepness of our Taal volcano based on the given graph. This is our first point and our second point, connected by a line. The question is, how are we going to get the slope of the given graph? From our first point, let us count how many times do we have to rise or fall to be able to reach the x-axis of our second point. Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since our direction is downward, the sign of our rise is negative, and that is -5. Next, how many times do we have to run from where we stopped a while ago? Let us count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Since our direction is to the right, the sign is positive. Therefore, our rise is -5 and our run is +5. Simplify them. Therefore, we have -1. Notice that the trend of our line from the graph is going down, from left to right. That's why our slope is negative. Let us have another example. This is our first point and our second point. They are connected by a line. From our first point, let us count how many times do we have to rise or fall to be able to reach the axis of our second point. And that is 3. Since our direction is upward, the sign of our rise is positive. Next is, how many times do we have to run from where we stopped a while ago? And that is 4. Since our direction is to the right, the sign is positive. Therefore, our rise is 3 and our run is 4. Simplify them. Therefore, we have 3/4. Notice that the trend of our line from the graph is going up from left to right. That's why our slope is +3/4. Another example, we have the first point and the second point. connected by a line, we will use our formula rise over run. Let us count how many times do we have to rise, and that is 0, since we did not rise or fall from the first point. Our vertical change is 0. Next is, how many times do we have to run from first point to the second point? And that is 5. Since our direction is to the right, the sign is positive. Therefore, our rise is 0 and our run is positive 5. Simplify them. Therefore, we have 0. Notice that the trend of our line from the graph is parallel to our x-axis. That's why our slope is 0, because there is no steepness of the line. Next, we have, this is our first point, and this is our second point, connected by a line. Using our formula rise over run, we have to count from first point to second point, and that is negative 5. Since we are going downward, our vertical change is negative 5. Next, how many times do we have to run from first point to second point? Since we did not run, our horizontal change is 0. Therefore, our rise is negative 5 and our run is 0. Simplify them. Therefore, we have undefined. Anything or any number divided by 0 is undefined. Notice that the trend of our line from the graph is parallel to our y-axis. That's why our slope is undefined. Another way on how to get the slope of a line is by equation. To find the slope of a line in an equation, we have to check if the equation is written in slope-intercept form. If not, we need to rewrite the given. But first, let us have the parts of slope-intercept form. These are the variables. Describes a specific point. This is our slope. It describes the slope of a line. And this is the y-intercept. Describes where the line crosses y-axis. We will now go back on rewriting our given to slope-intercept form. Our given is 2x plus 5y equals 7. We will use the addition property of equality. It means anything we add on our left will also be added to our right. So we have 2x plus 5y equals positive 7. We will add the inverse of positive 2x, and that is negative 2x. And then cancel. So we will have 5y equals negative 2x plus 7. Next is we divide both sides by 5. Cancel positive 5. We will have y equals negative 2 over 5x plus 7 over 5. Therefore, from our slope-intercept form, our slope is negative 2 over 5. Next example, we have negative 4x plus y equals 6. Again, we will use the additive property of equality. We will add on both sides the inverse of our negative 4x, and that is positive 4x. And then, cancel. We will have y equals 4x plus 6. Therefore, from our slope-intercept form, our slope is positive 4. Next example, we have 5x plus 10y equals 15. Inverse of positive 5x is negative 5x. We will add that on both sides. Cancel. We will have 10y equals negative 5x plus 15. Since we still have numerical coefficient in our y, we will divide both sides by 10 and then cancel. We will have y equals negative 1 over 2 because the lowest term of 5 over 10 is 1/2 plus 15 over 10 is 3/2. Therefore, from our slope-intercept form, our slope is negative 1/2. Another way on how to get the slope of a line is given 2 points. In this situation, we will use slope formula. We have m equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Example, we have negative 1, negative 3 for our first point, and our second point is 2, negative 5. Our formula again is slope equals y sub 2 minus y sub 1 all over x sub 2 minus x sub 1. Substitute our values. We have the x sub 1 and y sub 1 for the first point, and the second point we have x sub 2 and y sub 2. For the y sub 2 and y sub 1, we have negative 5. Our operation is subtraction. And then, our y sub 1 is negative 3. For our x sub 2 and x sub 1, we have 2 minus our x sub 1 is negative 1. And then simplify. Negative 5. Negative times negative 3 is positive 3. Same with our denominator, we have 2. Negative times negative 1 is positive 1. And then simplify. Negative 5 plus 3 is negative 2. 2 plus 1 is 3. Therefore, our slope is negative 2 over 3. Another example, we have 2, negative 2 for our first point and 6, negative 9 for our second point. Formula, and then substitute our values. We have negative 9 for our y sub 2 minus negative 2 for our y sub 1. Next, 6 for our x sub 2 minus 2 for our x sub 1. And then simplify. Negative 9. Negative times negative 2 is positive 2. Over 6 minus 2 is 4. And then, negative 9 plus positive 2 is negative 7 over 4. That is our slope. Next, let us summarize how we get the slope of a line given the 2 points, graph, and equation. For the 2 points, we used slope formula. For our equation, we used the slope-intercept form, which has variables slope and y-intercept. For our graph, we have the rise over run. Let me leave you an exercise. Try to practice your skills on how to get the slope of a line given a graph, 2 points, or an equation. Thank you for listening. See you again on our next lesson. Bye!